During the Monday Night Football game last night, they announced that they were going to be showing the final trailer for The Marvels. So it was with great interest that I sat down and tuned in. And there are two thoughts that come to me when thinking about last night's trailer. Number one, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good trailer. But number two, it also reeked of desperation. And here's what I mean by that. We'll get to the fact that the trailer was a pretty good trailer in and of itself in a second, but they start off the trailer because, you know, the tracking for opening weekend for this movie is about half of what the original Captain Marvel movie was. I mean, listen, it's projected to get somewhere between $70 and $80 million opening weekend, which most movies would kill to have an opening weekend of $70 to $80 million. But this isn't most movies. This is an MCU film, and it's a film that is kind of a sequel to an original film that made like $150, $160 million in its opening weekend. So that's considered, you know, underperforming, to be fair. I mean, it's not considered a failure, but it's considered underperforming. So they've been trying to change tactics a little bit with how they're approaching their marketing. And they've been giving us a little bit more of the story. I've appreciated that. They've done a few things here and there. But then last night in the final trailer, they come out of the gate and just start off by showing Captain America and Iron Man. Newsflash, neither Captain America nor Iron Man are going to be in this movie. I have not seen the movie, but I feel pretty safe saying that. It would be a great surprise if we find out they are in it, but they're not in it. And it just reeked of member berries. Like, hey guys, remember how great the MCU was? Hey guys, remember how great Endgame was? Wasn't that great? And they just kind of tied it into it a little bit. And I was like, okay, that seems desperate. That seems desperate, which is unfortunate. Again, because once you get into the rest of the actual trailer, it's not a bad trailer, actually. As a matter of fact, they do a couple of really good things with the trailer. Number one, they give us more context to the story. Now, I might be misinterpreting it, but the way I interpreted what we saw in the trailers is that, okay, we are now getting various realities are merging, incursions like they talked about in Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. And I was starting to think that this new accuser might have been another disciple of Thanos, but I'm starting to wonder if she's from the other reality, if she's from another reality where maybe she was the right hand to Thanos or something like that. And in an earlier trailer where we see her say to Captain Marvel, "You took everything from me." Well, maybe it wasn't this universe's Captain Marvel. Maybe it was another one. So they're starting to maybe finally starting to tie in some of the story themes of the movie and of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that looked pretty good. We got a little bit of a glimpse of Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, but she's not the one that comes in through the Bifrost. So we're going to put that on aside for a second. One of the interesting things, though, is that the person comes through the Bifrost, and I have a theory about who it is, okay? So there's two things we know about this person who comes through the Bifrost. By the way, this isn't Photon because in this shot in the trailer, once the person walks by, Photon's sitting behind her. So clearly it's a woman. Clearly it's a black woman. My theory right now, I know some people are saying maybe it's Storm. I don't think it's Storm. My theory right now is that it's Monica Rambeau from another reality who becomes Captain Marvel. I think, my guess, my theory is that this is a Captain Marvel from another reality, much like we had in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, that we have that there. So I'm thinking maybe that's who it is that's coming through. And by the way, there have been hints that there will be more. That there will be more surprises and cameos and things like that. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Rocket Money. Do you struggle to save money every month? With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify all those sneaky subscriptions that keep charging you month after month and cancel any you no longer use. For example, did you know that over 80% of people have subscriptions that they've completely forgotten about? It's too easy to subscribe to a free trial of something and then completely forget about it once you stop using it. That's why I'm such a big fan of Rocket Money. I've told you guys before that when I started using Rocket Money, I realized that I was still subscribed to a gym in another city I had moved away from 2 years ago. Also, my music service, yeah, I found out I was still subscribed to 2 others. How much do you think you're paying a month on subscriptions? Most people think they're paying $80 a month, but they're actually paying closer to $200. That's why I use Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. With Rocket Money, you can easily cancel the ones you don't want with just the press of a button. With over 5 million users and counting, Rocket Money has helped save its customers on an average of $720 a year and $1 billion in total savings so far. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, you had a chance to see the trailer for the final, what they're calling a trailer for the Marvels. What were your first impressions? What are your takeaways? Has it expanded what you're thinking we might get in the movie at all? What are you thinking right now?
Well, first of all, for me, I don't think it's an entirely desperate trailer. I do think showing Cap and Tony is a cheap move.
Yeah.
But what have we all been complaining about for so much of this phase? How are they connected? How is everything connected? What is all the connection here? What's going on? And finally, this trailer gave me something of, oh, that big event, that big cataclysm that we had with Infinity and Endgame and everything, we're tying that in here. And I also finally know more about this villain, aside from a couple like shots of her and she's destroying every place I call home. Okay, why? So she's a disciple of Thanos, a daughter of Thanos, something of that nature. And I gotta say, I'm so hyped too about the idea of it being Rambo's mom.
Right.
I think that's how you do multiverse. I think you do multiverse in a way that makes you go, oh, this is what could be so messed up about this, of seeing people you've lost, seeing people who you love who are entirely different from what you've done. We've talked about this with Gamora. That was a big reality and a big consequence of a multiverse. Meeting someone who you think you have this tremendous backstory with, who can't even say your name right. And I think that's a huge thing that could happen here too with Photon, of just, Mom, I need you, I need this, I need that. And her saying, I'm not your mom. I'm the same age as you. So I'm really hoping that that's the case here. I did do, and I know I'm insufferable, I did like a little mini dance of, oh, it is Valkyrie. Oh, there she is. Ha, 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 ha. And I'll give you that, she's not coming in on the Bifrost, but she's in there. And that made me very, very happy.
She is there.
I also, just to clarify, did they say they're here in conjunction with the Bifrost?
It could be one of those situations where it's creative editing together of various lines from the movies at different times. Yeah. So I'm unclear. And even if it was, I'm not sure that would mean anything, but they do seem to be teasing that there will be other cameos. By the way, the other thing, and I forgot to mention this off top, and I want to know what you think about this. So besides showing Cap and Steve, the titling coming up, will you be there when everything changes? It's like, okay, that was the other part to me that seemed a little bit desperate, saying, guys, the MCU is about to change forever. You got to come and see this. And will it change forever? Because I've seen Marvel do that in trailers before. Yeah, I've seen Marvel do that in trailers before, where they like, oh, this is the ending of the blood. And it's like, no, it's not. And so I don't know. What did you make of that when it says everything's going to change?
This is where I had hope for a second, and then I remembered everything we've reported on, where I thought, oh, okay, punched a hole in reality, all of this. Oh my gosh, we're going to close the loop on the multiverse.
Right.
We're going to get rid of that. But then we have all these reports of our OGs returning. And I'm doubtful that it's for this movie. Maybe it is. Maybe they're just leaking those things out now of like, sure, Robert Downey Jr. would come back if he wants to. But I had that moment of, oh, cool. We're finally going to move on from the multiverse saga. We're going to end that chapter. And then I remembered what the trades have said lately. So there is a little bit of a, if they don't deliver on giving me something tangible, something really epic here, like we get a more definitive thing on mutants, like we have the Fantastic Four show up, like we have multiverse more tunneled in, I'm not really into it.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, of course, we've got Secret Wars coming, and you can't close off the multiverse loop until Secret Wars is here. So unless they change directions, but who knows? What does when everything changes mean? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure we're only a couple of days away. I got my tickets. I'm going to go see it on Thursday. So
me too.
Here's hoping it's better than the marketing campaign has been. Again, I didn't think that. Listen, you take away the Steve and Tony thing in the beginning, and that little titling of "gotta be there when everything changes." You take that out, and I actually think it's a pretty solid little trailer. But it just doesn't feel right the way they're handling it right now. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.